Hey guys, so we've been talking about human attraction dynamics, which basically tells us how masculine, feminine, intimate relationships actually work. And we've been talking about love and respect, men's nobility and women's beauty. Men's nobility being what attracts women to men, beauty being what attracts men to women. So today's video we're going to be talking about nobility a little bit more, but we're going to be talking about the source of men's nobility, what men can do to rapidly increase their nobility to get the attention of women and basically help them on their road to maximizing their manhood as much as possible. So it's a very simple answer, but I need to explain it. What is the source of men's nobility? A while ago, I was reading a book called Paradise Lost by John Milton. And this book, it is fantastic. I recommend anyone watching these videos, you guys check out Paradise Lost. On my website at csjoseph.life, I'm about to post a page that'll have all my recommended reading that you guys could check out. I just seriously recommend you read these books. Anyway, Paradise Lost. It's basically a story or a retelling of the tragedy in the Garden of Eden, right? And the origin of the human species. There's a particular scene in this book, and it's where Adam and Eve are in the garden. It's just after creation, and the devil's gonna go to the garden and tempt them, etc. And God knows this, so he sends an angel down to warn Adam about what's going to happen. Well, the angel shows up and enters Adam and Eve's dwelling. Adam welcomes them in, and they have a sit down and they just start talking. Adam starts having this deep intellectual conversation with the angel, asking him about the moon and the sun and the stars, and about how all of these things work within the solar system, and how gosh, it is busy out here. Anyway, they had this intellectual conversation where they're discussing all these scientific based topics, because Adam's like very new to creation and just wants to know, right? Curious minds will ask. Well, Eve is present, and she's like, okay, well, great. This is kind of boring. I'm not really into this kind of talk. So she elects to actually leave. So she walks out of the dwelling, and as soon as she leaves, Adam stops the conversation, looks at the angel, and is like, man, ain't she so fine? I am so tapping that ass. Well, the angel was repulsed. The angel's like, look, you do realize the cows do it, right? I mean, do you really like sexual pleasure, huh? I mean, I bet that's fantastic, but you're just like an animal. You're like all the other animals. The cows do it. Come on. And then the Adam was responding to that, and he was like, okay, well, whatever, whatever. And the angel's like, no, listen to me. Listen to me. If you want Eve to continue to be in a relationship with you, if you want her to respect you, do you want her to respect you? If you want her to respect you, you will not carry on like that, is what the angel told Adam when he was criticizing him. Well, Adam freaked out. He never really considered the possibility that Eve could disrespect him or lose respect for him. And he didn't like that at all. He didn't like that idea. So in his young mind, he asked the angel, okay, well, what do I do about that? What do I do if she loses respect for me? Or how do I stop her from losing respect for me? And the angel got up real close to him, looked at him square in the eye, and said the following, quote, if you esteem yourself and never cease, she will always respect you, end quote. And that is the point of this video, gentlemen. The source of men's nobility, the source of what attracts women to men. If you want to be the most attractive man to women, you need to have as much nobility as possible. Nobility is everything, but how do you build it? The answer to that question, gentlemen, is esteem. Esteem yourself and never cease. If you spend all of your time just esteeming yourself, you will literally become the most noble man in existence. Here's a great example. Let's talk about Tai Lopez. He's an ENFP. He hit rock bottom in his life. No car, no job, or maybe he did have a car, I don't know. But he had no job. He had no place to live. He had no woman. He had no money. He had nothing. I think he maybe had like $12 to his name at the time, or maybe $50 in his bank account. I don't know. He was a loser. The guy was a freaking loser. Well, what did he do? As he was laying on the couch at his mother's trailer, right? He had an epiphany, and he realized just then how to esteem himself, right? And he did. He started reading. He started reading every single day, reading anything he could get his hands on, and started seeking out mentors, other men who were successful, to help him build his success up. And he did it constantly, feverishly, never ceasing. He didn't spend time playing video games. He didn't spend time watching television. He had his nose in the books, spending time figuring all that shit out. You know what I mean? He was esteeming himself. And guess what? He's got these YouTube videos about him driving in Ferraris and whatnot. And yeah, I know that triggers the lot of you. I get that, you know. I mean, that's marketing strategies from the 1980s. Come on. But people still buy his product, and, well, I guess they work. So, I mean, what are you going to do, right? But the difference is he's driving a Ferrari and you're not. He esteemed himself, right? And because he esteemed himself, he's able to have relationships with really quality women. I mean, he's in Mensa. Come on, guys. Let's be honest. The source of men's nobility is esteem. It is self-esteem. You need to be focusing on esteeming yourself every single day for the rest of your life. If you're in a relationship with a woman right now and she's getting in the way of you esteeming yourself, throw her in the dumpster. Have nothing to do with her. Women have this problem. Well, they will self-sabotage their own relationships. They'll get in a relationship with you, and then, you know, it gets intimate, and then they want you to worship them. And then you, being a dumb idiot, decide, okay, yeah, I'll start worshiping her. And then you start worshiping her, right? Oh, she's really happy that you're worshiping her. Oh, this is the best relationship I've ever had. It's so fantastic. Oh, wait a minute. Then she starts to lose respect for you, because what respecting man would worship a woman? What self-respecting man would worship a woman? None. And they know that. Women know that. So then she starts to lose respect for you. And then because she's losing respect for you, you can't love her anymore. You're being unloving to her now. And then the relationship just breaks apart. All because she expected you to worship her, and because you bought into it like a moron. That's how they self-sabotage their own relationships. And instead of worshiping her, the man in that relationship should have been like, I ain't doing that. I'm going to focus on esteeming myself. Because that's what they want you to do anyway. Because by esteeming yourself, you're building up that nobility. And then women have the nobility that they crave from you. They are attracted to nobility. Give it to them. But you're only going to be able to give it to them unless you have it. And you only get it unless you esteem yourself. You have to focus on esteeming yourself. Reading is the fastest way. And I'm not talking about reading fiction. Screw that. I'm talking about reading nonfiction. Do you know how many nonfiction books I read? I read a nonfiction book a week, at least, if not more. I spend all my commuter time, I'm in audiobooks, right? Or I'm taking Pimsleur foreign language courses. Why? Because I want to talk to them Hispanic ladies, if you know what I mean. I want to talk to them Russian ladies, of course. You know what I mean? Or establish business deals with Russian people or Spanish people. Learn from them, learn from culture. I am esteeming myself. That is how I spend my time. How am I esteeming myself if I'm watching television? How am I esteeming myself if I'm playing video games, if I'm watching movies, right? How am I esteeming myself if I'm playing World of Warcraft or EVE Online every single day? Like, how am I even doing that, right? I can't do that. I need to be spending time, especially in my youth, doing everything I can to make myself better. It's called esteem. You need to esteem yourself and never cease. If you stop esteeming yourself, you will grow stagnant and your woman will lose respect for you. And you literally will be worthless. You cannot stop esteeming yourself. It is everything. Everything. It is the most important lesson of life as a man. It is the source of manhood. Esteem yourself. Michael Jordan, he esteemed himself. Do you know what he did? He did free throws every single day. He practiced. He worked his butt off. He failed. And he was okay with failure. He was okay with embracing failure. That's what it means to esteem yourself. You need to be willing to fail. But I'm too afraid because I might fail. Well, that's because you're a loser. How about you ignore the fear and you try to fail? That's how the scientific method works, right? Stop trying to game it so you'll be successful. Game it so you fail, so you learn a lesson. Because learning that lesson makes you wise, and wisdom is all about manhood. If a man is a fool, then he's not a real man. He's a loser. Wisdom is everything. You're not going to be able to get wisdom watching television and playing WoW. You're going to get it by esteeming yourself, by being okay with failure, by seeking failure. Because if you fail at everything, the only thing left to do is succeed. And you will. And you will make it. I mean, I wish I could say it's all about having faith in yourself and willpower and go for the gusto, yay. No, it's not even, it's simpler than that. You can default to success if all you do with your time is esteem yourself. That's all you have to do. Take yourself out on a date, know who you are. Know your personal goals, your personal boundaries, your personal standards. Take responsibility for meeting your own needs. That's how you esteem yourself. Know thyself so you can esteem yourself. By esteeming yourself, and you don't even have to know what you want to do. You don't have to know. Just start reading. You'll find out really quick. You'll find out real quick. Just go to the library, pick up some random books, and just start reading nonfiction. I guarantee you immediate results. I guarantee it. Go to the gym. Use books to research how to get a six-pack. Make that a goal and live your life around that goal. Develop good habits. You are developing good habits by reading. So you're going to realize how much of a moron you are and how much you need to change and how much better you need to be through reading. Everyone's just too lazy to read. They're too lazy to listen to audiobooks. They're too lazy to improve themselves. Everyone wants to be a consumer. No one wants to be a producer. Guess what? Women want producers. They don't want another consumer. Because women are inherently built for consumption. They're built to be the subject of your kingdom. It is the king's job to produce, not to consume. Only a high chair tyrant, man-child, Prince John type of person is someone who consumes more than they produce and they sit on a throne. What a worthless cretin. That kingdom's built on the sand and will be washed away like the rest of them. Build your house on the rock. Build your kingdom on the rock. Read. Esteem yourself. And it doesn't have to be with just reading. Learning kung fu or karate, going diving, just exploring life and doing things outside of things that do not make you better. Things that do not challenge you. World of Warcraft is not how you esteem yourself. World of Warcraft is how you stay foolish. It's what's keeping you down. Stay out of that. Esteem yourself. Become the man you are meant to be. Slay the dragons you are meant to slay. bang the damsels you are meant to bang. Anyway, if you found this video helpful or educational, please leave a like or subscribe. I'll be doing another video on the source of beauty. This is my next video. Gentlemen, make sure that you do everything you can to esteem yourself. Make sure that you become real men. Because if you are a man, if you are a sovereign human being, you as a man are not going to take what this society is trying to give you. And you will, by definition of being a man and securing your manhood and protecting your manhood, that you will make sure that this society changes for the better. Not just for yourself or the women in your life, but also for your children and their children. Help me create a better world by becoming real men. Men of respect. Men of respectability. Men of honor. Men who honor their agreements. Men who are reliable. Instead of man-children who abandon their families, have children with casual relationships, and then they just leave. And then it continues the endless cycle of pain and worthlessness and suicide and no identity. Children get their identity from their fathers. And there's nothing you can do to stop that. That's just the fact of life. That's why children have our name when they're born. At least that's how it's been for centuries. So, anyway, I'll see you folks in the next video. Let me know if you have any questions. Leave it in the comments, and I'll do my best to answer your questions. Have a good night.